Update: my family wants to reconnect after 6 years. A few people have asked me for an update, so here it is. So I arrived at my parents' Saturday morning. I rang the door and my mom opened it. She started crying and hugged me. It was a bit of a reward for me. My dad gave me a handshake and I got in. My mom started trying to make small talk. She asked me how I was. She then commented that I looked way better and that I lost weight. I replied, when you're depressed you forget to eat. I then asked how they found out. My mom said that Jack was wasted and had an argument with Sarah and something like, I didn't plan all this so I would take with your SHT. Sarah then forced him to confess. Sarah and my daughters wanted to contact me, but my mom said it would be better if just she contacted me. I started laughing. My dad was a little mad and asked me what's so funny. I said that my brother probably spent years trying to separate me and Sarah and blew it all up. All he had to was be quiet and he could continue with his beautiful life. I then asked my parents if they could imagine how would our lives be if they and Sarah didn't try to convince to forgive my brother after he tried to convince Sarah to run with him. My dad started crying. It was the first time in my 45 years of life that I had seen my old man crying. He started to apologize, saying he was an awful father but that he, my mom, Sarah and my daughters were all sorry. I was able to not cry and I told them that I would love to reconcile but it would take time. My mom asked me if she could give the green light to Sarah to contact me. I said yes. They then asked more about my life as they wanted to know how I was doing. Overall, it was better than I expected. The next day, Sarah sent me a message and asked me if she could call me. I replied a few hours later that she could. Not even 5 minutes later she called me. She asked me how I was. I told her that given the circumstances I could be worse. I asked how she and our daughters were. She said that they are not so good. After my brother confessed, Sarah and my daughters felt remorseful and kicked my brother out. I asked Sarah a few questions. Why did she marry Jack so quickly and how come she didn't believe me? She started crying. She said that during and after our divorce, my brother had been her rock. Sarah said that they eventually started dating and they got married because, and I was shocked to hear this, she got pregnant. I was a bit taken back when I heard it. I asked if she could repeat it and she did. I told her that I needed time. I warned that the chances of us getting back together are not looking good and I didn't want her to have false hopes. She cried a bit more but said they understood. She ended the conversation with, "Hey, I love you, I just said goodbye."